guys are going to be. Oops. Yes, this meeting is being recorded. And yeah, just get to know the organization a little bit better. And we're going to start off by doing this with Mr. Desai's introduction.
Is there a slide or okay? So good afternoon, everybody, and very early morning for Syed you to join, and good evening or late evening to Stephanie from Nigeria. So happy to see all of you today joining from two international RIST 27 from within the US, and we have some volunteers also like uh, from Voice of SAP. And of course, I want to thank everybody to find time to join today. Uh, I had opportunity to talk to some of you for sure, and as we move in this 10 weeks of program, definitely looking forward to engage with each one of you to have the best experience, best outcome as a team to create the disproportionate impact. So I'm assuming all of you have seen our website and what we do, but I want to take a couple of minutes on the disproportionate impact that we all try to do at Voice of SAP. It starts with the name, specially able people. So the whole narrative we are changing or trying to change is focus on ability part. Because whatever issues that we see today in the society is primarily because of ignorance towards ability of people with disability. That means we need to bridge the gap between the perception and the reality of the disability sector. Unfortunately, there's very limited data. And that's why it's opportunity to all of us to create more and more data, analysis, research, so that we can be doing data-driven advocacy. And that's what Voice of SAP wants to focus on, because when data is there that hey, person with disability can do very good, 90% of the person with disability have the equal brain God has given. That means what you need to do is just train them, educate them, invest so that they can overcome their disabilities. So we have to bring our advocacy to really make sure people at leadership level, youth like you, talk to other friends, understand this. So sustainable model, what is sustainable model? Empowerment. We have to think about if empowerment will yield us a lot more return, or we continue to think stereotype, the moment disability comes, welfare. No. With empowerment, person with disability can do amazing work. Hiring of people with disability, people with stereotype, it's a liability. No, they are proven to be asset to the corporations. Especially able people, when we think about that, is disability comes. So that's why specially ability focus. With all the technologies of 21st century, practically all type of disability we can overcome by providing assistive devices. So let's start talking about that. Let's start getting data. The research that we are going to do will help change the perception. And I have many examples, and during next 10 weeks, we'll talk more. But inclusive and accessible universities, inclusive US corporations, these are all possibilities. Why only 15% disabled people are college graduate? They have intellect that everybody else has, but we need to find more and more data is what are the issues that they are not employed and all that. That's why we have these projects, right, this year. What are the, and that will lead into some amendment in the law or policy or reallocation of budget. So the end goal is disproportionate impact, because we'll change the policy forever. We'll have more budget allocation. So opportunity for all of us to learn, network, drive the change as a one compassionate team with data for making impact to millions of people. And I'll stop on this particular topic that with United Nations, that we have a special consultative status. I encourage all of you to think what all you can do at United Nations, how you can go and present to Geneva, New York, Vienna. If you have understanding and if you are immersed into this, we are one of the only 6 disability focused NGO from America who have this special consultative status. It's all for you. Next slide. Next. Huh. So these are some of the metrics. We have our vision, obviously that you all know, but we want to be the transformation catalyst for promoting inclusion, accessibility, equality, dignity of people with disability, and of course independence, in line with UN SDGs. So far, we have helped. Now this number has gone up. We are continuously helping, but more than 4,000 people are already helped during this COVID-19 pandemic. I encourage all of you to go on website under popular videos. The video is also there. More than 18,000 places using our mobile app are rated for accessibility. More than 10,000 people have taken pledge to volunteer. It's becoming a mass movement. More than 2,000 lives have been changed with assistive devices or surgical intervention. And all volunteering work that is done, we are now certifying organization wherein our volunteers upon WhatsApp recommendation will be eligible to get certificate and award from President of United States. So far they are citizen of US. So we're one of the very few certifying organization, and we have platinum seal of transparency and all that. So you all should know and share this with your friends. Next slide. WhatsApp has, volunteers and also huge focus on collegiate research, college ambassadors, chapters, so that the advocacy is strengthened. So that is our one of the goal, enablement with the assistive devices or surgical intervention and accessibility. We do this every day. All our volunteers, I welcome you all to Voice of SAP to continue to do this, expand this, bring your ideas, be part of the family. Next. Okay.
Sorry, one moment.
We'll play a short 42-second video. The idea has come from volunteer, and you will see how beautifully it is created.
So Mr. Sai spoke a little bit about kind of the volunteering side of what VOSAP is, and Anusha and I wanted to touch a bit on this other section that you see, which is VOSAP Collegiate. So about a year and a half ago, Anusha and I started VOSAP Collegiate, which is the collegiate division of the larger organization VOSAP. And under this, we have obviously research interns, which you yourselves are this summer. And we had the opportunity to have research interns last summer as well through the research internship. And then our goal is to create a sort of self-sustainable form of collegiate volunteers, and to also institutionalize this internship. And the way that we kind of hope to do that is by encouraging all of you to become college ambassadors on your own universities and start VOSAP chapters, so that you can continue to mobilize the disability conversation at the collegiate level for students who, like yourselves, your friends, your peers, that may not be as familiar with the concept of disability and how we really want to push forward a positive narrative for this sector. So that's kind of our hope with VOSAP Collegiate. But yeah.
Our team has to win this time. Oh no!
It's a spinal injury. You'll have to avoid walking for a few months.
This is hard. How will I go to my college? What will happen to my career? How do people with disability do this every day of their life?
हाँ, हम रैम्प्स जरूर लगवाएंगे।
After 3 months, back to college.
I urge all of you to come together, join Voice of SAP.
All right, so all of you have seen our mobile app, and maybe this is the time again to remind you all, this is the kind of digital tool that Voice of SAP is talking about, for which Mayor of San Jose is interested. He connected us to Chief Innovation Officer of San Jose. This is the mobile app that UN liked. It gives you opportunity to drive change in the community by rating the places for accessibility in your college. For example, USA is mapped out by Manusha and Anusha. 30% places are not accessible. It's opportunity for all of you to start looking at accessibility using this mobile app. It certainly will help you bring that change, because once data is there, you can escalate and ask for compliance to the ADA, etc. Right? Volunteers, we have to create this large mass movement, activist for rights of people with disability. Each one of you can create that ecosystem with your friends and family to drive the change. Here is the tool, start using it. So that's download it, take a place to volunteer if you have not done already. I know many of you have already done. If you have not done it, I encourage you to download it. It is on both Android and iOS both. Next slide. Okay, so another thing that all of you should be knowing about is that we have created an art platform, because many times art has a much more direct impact to touch the hearts of the people. So it's a free art gallery with 250 beautiful artwork done, selected out of 4,200 participants from 53 countries last year. So those who are, how many of you like art? Maybe you can raise your hand or do something on the Zoom. Anybody likes art? Okay, 1, 2, 3, wow, okay. So see, art has a power to inspire people, touch the people heart, and that's where we created, because it's a powerful tool now. So what is it now? Now, city of San Jose, we had a call with a council member of Los Angeles. We are now putting this to all LAUSD or San Jose Unified School District students to view this art gallery, so that they develop that compassion, understanding of disability. Each one of you, I encourage you to see, because this is the tool, digital tool, where we are now having our first donor international art contest who is using this platform to again promote to their artist community. So we have productized our, so think about any school district, any college, any company. We have one high-tech company, I cannot give name, but under confidentiality, but from Bay Area, largest technology company, has already used our platform to promote inclusion in their company and their employees. Because if you use this WhatsApp platform and let employees draw the painting on disability, think about your university or college. If something like this is there, it is engaging and it will open up a lot of understanding on disability. So that's where I again encourage you to view this art gallery. It is on our website, and share with others, and URL is already there. Next one. Okay, over to you.
There's some really fantastic artwork there. So I highly recommend you guys go over to the website, check it out on your own time. We know from interviews, there's a lot of artists out there. Y'all told us about it. So go feel free to check it out. But yeah, now coming over to the research internship itself, why you guys are here to begin with. As many of you will know, we ran this is our second time doing the internship program. So last summer was our launch, the first summer we ever ran it. Through that internship experience, we had about 14 teams doing different research projects. They kind of came in with their own topics in mind. We helped them do problem identification, and then they went on to do research in various manners. Some of the projects that we yielded from last summer included creating a data dashboard that is currently available on the VOSAP website that sort of maps what the demographics of a person with a disability looks like in the United States. So for example, if you wanted to know how many people in North Carolina have a learning disability, you can find as specific of that information through a very visual dashboard that's on the website. Alongside that, we had economic models, sort of modeling what it looks like to invest in the disability sector and how countries can actually benefit with an increase in their GDP. And then moving forward, we had a lot of issue brief and policy analysis as well, looking at employment patterns, looking at discrimination in the employment workspace, and sort of outlining what sort of policies we should implement and where has the ADA and the government failed in benefiting these people that have a disability. And finally, we came up with two very well-structured frameworks called DII. It's a DII framework for employment and as well as education, higher education specifically. So how can we make our universities more accessible from administration level all the way to student-run organizations? And looking at something very similar in the employment corporate workspace, from the hiring process to the actual corporate building, to resources PWDs have available upon employment. So looking through an array of that. So that kind of brings us to this summer. This summer, we took some of the highlights from last summer where we saw the most need for research to be done, and concentrated that into 5 different distinct groups. And hence all of you guys have been placed in one of those 5 groups. These research projects, the reason we have more people on the team is because there's a lot more data we're going to be working with, a lot more extensive research. We're really going to be getting deep and dirty with it. So, the outcomes this summer are going to look very different as well. While we have the assistive technology group, maybe doing something more visual, maybe doing something more, using a little bit of actual technology to sort of manufacture some results, we'll have federal and state government group doing a lot more policy-based research. So again, very excited for this summer. And we just want you guys to know that all of these 5 topics all serve a huge, huge role in furthering this disability narrative. And so we're really excited to have you guys here and doing this research. But yeah, now we're going to get to the fun part, which is you guys. So we asked all of you guys to fill out a slide, and you guys, as you did a wonderful job. I love seeing all the colors and all the fun photos. We're going to go ahead and get started with introductions. So Manashri, if you want to kick us off.
Yes, perfect. Okay. So yeah, as you guys know, these are the questions, if you need to refer to them again at any time. But I will get started with mine. So as you all know, and I've had the opportunity and the privilege to meet you all through the interview process, but my name is Manashri. I'm an incoming senior at USC. I major in public policy, minor in healthcare studies. I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada, where I'm currently at right now. My favorite cartoon character is Velma from Scooby-Doo. I used to watch tons of Scooby-Doo when I was a kid, but I love her character particularly because she approaches mystery solving from a very evidence-based perspective, and that's how I like to do my research as well. And so in terms of how VOSAP and the VOSAP research internship kind of inspired me, why I'm so drawn to it and how it connects with my professional goals and aspirations, I got affiliated with the organization about 3 years ago, as you all probably know, and I've said in multiple personal conversations, but disability is something that I feel very connected to and very passionate about. And it's now become something that I want to pursue professionally as well. So after my undergraduate career, I hope to pursue a JD and PH and actually practice disability law, hopefully with a legal and a scientific perspective as well. And I've had the opportunity to work with Anusha and Mr. Desai, who have been incredible colleagues and mentors as well. And I can't wait to continue to do this throughout my life. But yeah, that's a bit about me. Here are a few drawings, and I also am into photography. So
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna bore you with my major minor. Like you guys know that we've had these introductions multiple times. But when it comes to where am I from, it's a tough question. I have lived in a variety of places. I don't know how people determine hometowns, where they lived the longest, where they went to high school, where they lived last. So that's my list. Austin, India, California, both North and South, and as of lately, where I am right now in North Carolina. So if any of you guys are from any of these places, please do let me know. It'd be fun to connect, talk a little bit about, culture in each of these places. Manashri had a very well thought out structure for her favorite character. Mine is just SpongeBob because I really want to try Krabby Patty. And also that energy, who doesn't want that energy in their life? When it comes to sort of, hobbies and things I like to do outside of work, I love hiking. I love being outdoors. I think it's definitely very therapeutic to me. And my sort of getaway during quarantine was like going out on hiking trails. In fact, the last one I did in LA was with Monastery, so that was a fun fact there. And quite contrary to that, I love eating as well. So that's everything from cooking to trying new food in restaurants. Definitely two things I really do enjoy. Um, so how does disability advocacy sort of align with my professional goals? As you can see, my major minor combination might not be as telling to why I'm so passionate about this sector. And that's because something I really want to, draw upon is Mr. Desai in the very beginning when he was talking about disproportionate impact was speaking about data advocacy. And that's kind of where I come into the picture. I love everything healthcare, data, and economics related. And that's exactly where I want to be at the intersection of those three fields. So for me, it's really important to look at the big picture and see how can we drive change on a much larger scale. I've spent multiple years, and don't get me wrong, like I've done one-on-one volunteering, going into organizations, working with children, working with, different individuals one-on-one, and being in person and doing that sort of smaller scale volunteering. But something I was really looking for was how can I make this change, more worldwide? How can I make it so that not just 2 or 3 kids get helped, but I can help 2 to 3,000 children all at once. And I think that's where sort of BOSAP stepped in for me. I was able to do something sort of proprietary, very entrepreneurial. Sort of, Manish and I were able to lead our vision in doing data-driven advocacy on such a large scale with individuals who, want to be part of the narrative just like us. I say this all the time, like when we're all college-going students. So like there's nothing better than being able to work with people your own age because they understand. So yeah, that's kind of why I'm in it. But we're gonna go ahead and start off with getting introductions from you guys. So I think our first one is Sharon. Oh, Stephanie, sorry.
Hello, good evening. It's almost 12 a.m. here. So yeah, my name is Stephanie. I'm actually a third year physiotherapy student at University of Benin. I'm from Nigeria. Um, so the reason why I decided to do a research internship with um, WhatsApp is because of the fact that Nigeria is actually um, third world country. There's a lot that needs to be done. There's no, in terms of the disability field, there's really like there's this low um, perception of people with disability here in my country. A lot of things are not accessible, especially healthcare. And that's one area I'm actually passionate about, even for the fact that I'm studying physiotherapy here as well. So it's more like just creating impact, driving change, and just making their lives also better and just very inclusive. Let me put it that way, very inclusive. So how does it align with my professional goals? Yeah, so I'm studying physical therapy. I have a passion for disability, so it's more like also going in the lines of global health, public health, in the context of disability, and just seeing the intersection between health, technology, as well as policy. I also have interest in policy as well. And yeah, if I could hang out with any cartoon character, yes, it will be gone because I do watch anime. I do watch anime, and one of the animes that I did enjoy was Hunter. So I actually love Gordon because of his positivity, very enthusiastic, brave, very, very brave. Never saw anything as a challenge. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Hi guys, I'm a rising junior at Cornell and I'm studying biology and society. I'm from Middlebury, Indiana, and that's where I currently am. I'm at home, and there's a lot of reasons why I wanted to pursue a research in the disability sector. So like right off the bat, like a personal reason was like starting in high school, I started volunteering in like our mixed abilities class, and I just hung out with them, I worked with them like, on projects, and I just was their friend, and they were just so optimistic, and like their attitude really like inspires me to want to give back, especially to my community. And so I feel like one of the best ways to do that is to do research in the disability sector. And also like a big part of my major is like learning about like society, obviously. And inequality is like a big like subject within the topic of society. And so I took a lot of courses at Cornell so far, where there's one course where we really went in depth into how like our medical sector is kind of behind in like technology for people with mixed abilities, also like accessibility, whether it's inside or outside the building, those can all be improved. So definitely want to do that. And this kind of leads into like my professional goals and aspirations. Like I want to pursue a career in medicine as well. And so it's important for me to understand the needs of people of all abilities, because to know that I can be the best doctor possible, and therefore my patients will achieve the best health outcomes. And so I really love squirrels, and as you can see in pictures on the right here, these are two squirrels that I like were back in my apartment, and I fed them back at school. So the one on the left, he's holding like a baguette, and the one on the right, it's holding like a nut I fed it. And my friends like to hike a lot, and so we travel sometimes to like go hiking just to stay fit, I guess. Uh, Like I like all animals, and so I have another picture of me feeding like a baby goat, and I really like Shin Chan. So if I could like meet or hang out with like any cartoon character, it'd be Shin Chan. And I don't know if you guys like know this. It's not really an anime. It's more like a Japanese cartoon. It's called Crayon Shin-chan, and he's this little guy on the right, on bottom left with the like bushy eyebrows. He's so like silly and so fun, and like school is so stressful sometimes, and it is really nice to watch him. And yeah, that's me.
Hi, everyone. It's nice to meet all of you. My name is Katie, and I'm a rising junior at USC. I'm majoring in public policy and minoring in business administration. And so I'm on the team for the representation of specially able people in advertisements. And so I would consider my hometown Irvine, California, which is in Orange County where I am right now. But I've also moved a lot prior to settling in Southern California. So I'm an East Coast native, and I was born in Michigan and I moved to Maryland before coming here. And so I'd inspiration to pursue this internship has probably been my passion for intersectionality and just having to include all the different kinds of minorities towards working towards the ultimate goal of equity that we've talked about. And another reason has just been, I think I've seen a lot of issues firsthand in the disability sector brought up further by the pandemic. So for example, there's healthcare, and then also just living in LA for the past year, I've seen a lot of like street vendors in LA having to move their shops into sidewalks, which has lowered accessibility. So I think just an increased awareness on that. Um, and then as for how VOSAP aligns with my professional goals, like Manushree, I'm pre-law as well. And I just hope to have a future in creating equity with minorities through law. But I'm also a little bit all over the place, I would say, with my future right now. I'm very interested in the fashion industry. And so although it doesn't directly correlate, it's been interesting for me to see how there's been a lot of resurfacing of like representation issues in the industry. And so I think that just relates in terms of representation and equality. And then I chose Futurama as my favorite cartoon because it has had a big impact on my childhood. And specifically, I chose Fry and Bender, if you're familiar with that show. I just find them really funny, and I love how the setting is in the future. I think like 1,000 years into the future. So it'd be very interesting to hang out with them there. And then as for my pictures, just some of the stuff I'm interested in, a lot of art. And so in the corner, we have like fashion design. I do some music production and photography. And I also just love really traveling around and exploring. I think one of my favorite vacations recently has been going to Lake Arrowhead, and I've gone to Japan, which I really, so yeah, that's me. Nice to meet you all.
Hi everyone, I'm Josephine and I'm a rising junior at Northwestern. I'm majoring in math and econ with a minor in CS. I'm from Northern California in the Bay Area, Walnut Creek, and I was inspired to pursue research in the disability sector because of my personal experiences last year at a state school in California, which was incredibly inaccessible, and I ended up having to transfer away from it. And in the future, I want to pursue a PhD in data science and focusing on government social programs. And that's why I'm on the state and federal programs team. And any cartoon character, I think it'd be Ferb. I just think he has a lot of secrets and he's also like really smart. So it'd be like a wild day.
Hi guys, my name is Shreya and I'm a rising sophomore at Berkeley and I'm studying bioengineering and business and I'm from the East Coast, so I'm from Atlanta. I guess one of the primary reasons that I wanted to pursue a research internship, especially in the disability sector, is just sort of like the fundamental idea that I have of just like having accessible and affordable healthcare for everyone, regardless of like who they are, where they live, etc. And, this of course, extends to people with certain disabilities. So it's sort of really important for me to want to create certain solutions to essentially bridge the gap between what we're currently doing versus like what should be done. And this sort of like goes on to the whole idea of like my personal and professional goals, because ideally what I'd like to do after, after like graduate school, et cetera, is to potentially create my own business to sort of, create affordable and accessible solutions for everyone, regardless of who they are. So that's sort of why I wanted to pursue a disability research internship, in order to sort of better understand the gaps that currently exist in the status quo and just sort of figuring out ways to bridge those gaps essentially. And so I guess for the last question, if I could hang out with any cartoon character, I'd probably be Prince Zuko. I think it would be pretty cool to be a firebender, not gonna lie. And also, being the prince of like the Fire Nation also seems to like be a pretty cool job. So I feel like that's probably who I'd want to be.
Hi guys, my name is Kimberly Boy and I'm currently a third year at UC Santa Barbara. My major is communication and I'm from Garden Grove, Orange County. So why were you inspired to pursue a research internship? Just personal experiences with family and mental health, especially in the Asian American community. It just made me like really empathetic towards those who suffer from certain disabilities. How does it align with your professional goals? I really want to pursue a career that I love. I want to love where I work. And so there's like a saying, love what you do and you'll never work a day in your life. And then another dream of mine is to like run my own corporation. If you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would you choose and why? There's this character named Igutu from Shiguchara, which was my childhood crush. He's like a man slash cat character, and he's like very like mysterious. Or Rick and Morty for a space adventure. So yeah, I would love to be on an episode of Rick and Morty. That's me.
Hi, my name is Fatima. I am currently finishing up my third year at UCLA, so over the summer I will be a rising senior. I am majoring in public affairs with a minor in disability studies, and my hometown is Rancho Cucamonga. So if you don't know, like if you're not from Southern California, that's like an hour outside of LA basically, which is what I just tell everyone who isn't familiar with the area. But yeah, I was interested in pursuing this internship because like in class and, when we talk about like theory and we talk about inequality and social movements and stuff, I felt like the disabled population is usually left out of like conversations about justice for these different marginalized populations. So especially like intersectionality and the way that disability intersects with other marginalized populations. And then so I felt like it aligned with my professional goals and aspirations because I've done like work at the individual level with people with disabilities, but I want to like do research to understand how things work at a broader like nationwide level, and like what the structural forces are that affect like the disabled population, in order to better advocate them. And then also like Manushree, I'd like to do a double degree later on, but I would like to do JD and MSW. So I want to work more at like the individual level after like I graduate from school and everything. So just I want to have like this solid backing of information. And if I could hang out with any cartoon character, I would choose Miss Frizzle from the Magic School Bus so that I could ride in the Magic School Bus and just learn everything that she knows.
Hi guys, my name's Maddie. I'm a rising junior at Cornell University, majoring in Spanish and English. My hometown is Altoona, Pennsylvania. I was interested in pursuing research in the disability sector because I have friends and families with disabilities, and making a better future for them is something I've always been passionate about, as well as advancing the interests of marginalized populations. And I want to be a lawyer in the future who handles cases of noncompliance with the ADA. So that's how it kind of aligns with my professional aspirations. And if I could hang out with any professional or with any cartoon character, I would choose SpongeBob because his happiness and vibes are absolutely contagious. In these pictures over here, that's my dog Romeo, my beautiful little pug. Also, I am a proud hermit crab parent, so that's my friend holding one of my hermit crabs. And I really enjoy foraging, and that's a picture of my family and I down there foraging for morel mushrooms. So nice to meet you all.
Hi, all. My name is Sachi. I'm a rising sophomore at USC studying biomedical engineering. And so my older brother has autism, so I've grown up my entire life being involved in a lot of the disability events in my region and really seeing the ways people use assistive devices in their day-to-day life is what inspired me to pursue biomedical engineering and want to design some of these myself and have my own assistive device company in the future. So I'm really excited as an assistive tech researcher here to dive deep into the various technologies, who they are for, and why people may not have access to them. I think it's so important in our society to always be aiming to improve inclusivity and awareness of all different types of people. My favorite character is Curious George. He's just so cute and very kind and willing to learn. And so I really admire him. And yeah, I'm really grateful to be amongst everyone here and do some really good work.
Hi everyone, my name is Leo. I go to West Valley College and I'm currently a biological sciences major. My hometown is San Jose, California, and I'm currently there now from school. So why was I interested in pursuing an internship here at VOSAP? I think personally it's largely to break down barriers and to help move forward a more equitable future for everybody, and especially people with disabilities. Um, Talking about how that aligns with my professional goals, I think I have a desire to pursue a career into the biological engineering field with intersections in entrepreneurship and biomechatronics. So I think being a research intern in the assistive technology sector I think really helps to gain more information and to help me pursue my career. If I would have to hang out with any cartoon character, it would definitely be Period Platypus. He's just a dope individual, and no one knows what he's saying, and I definitely think he has like some cool things hiding around.
Okay, hello. My name is Shambhavi, but you can call me Sanju. I'm a rising sophomore at UT Austin, and I'm from Austin, so I've never left this place. And I'm an economics major. As of why I wanted to pursue a research internship, it was basically to get a better idea of what exact systematic barriers people with disabilities face. And after living in Texas and watching the entire state get snowed in and watching just how the government dealt with it, it's made me feel like there needs to be I need to be a lot more active, especially in helping people with disabilities, because this state government's not gonna do anything. They have never done anything worthwhile, but that's not the point. As far as how it aligns with my professional goals, I would like to pursue a career in politics and in policymaking. So researching government programs and state programs would help me, learn more about how exactly policies are made and how and in what ways are they effective and ineffective. And as far as a cartoon character I would like to hang out with, I watch anime as well, so I wanted to hang out with a character named Narumi from an anime called Wotokai. It's the character's picture's like right there. She's like the pink-haired girl. And as far as the pictures go, there's a photo of my dog. His name is Taco. He only tolerates me. That's why he looks so upset in the photo. So yeah.
Hi everyone, my name's Amanda. You can also call me Mandy if you want. I go by both. So I'm a rising junior at UC Berkeley, and I saw there are a couple of their Bears. So go Bears! Hey guys! And I'm an English major and education minor. And I'm originally from Corona, California, which nobody has ever heard of. But it's in SoCal, a little bit, pretty far from LA, but it's in SoCal. Anyway, I was inspired to go into disability research just because it's like very personal to me. I have a lot of family and also friends who have dealt with disabilities their whole life. And I advocated a lot for it in high school, and I felt like there wasn't much going on at the collegiate level. So I just wanted to have the opportunity to continue to advocate for those people in my life. As for my professional goals, I also think it like goes hand in hand because I want to be a teacher, and in my like teaching philosophy, I believe in a person-centered education. So like understanding each student's unique abilities and what they need in order to succeed. And so I want students to feel empowered, and I want them to have equitable access and learning opportunities, and just have what they need to do the best that they can. And if I could hang out with any cartoon character, I would choose Mordecai and Rigby from Regular Show, just because I feel like they're always getting into like crazy adventures, which is super fun, but also they use like really creative solutions to like all of their problems, which I think is like kind of the thought process we need to have, like, especially when we're thinking about people with disabilities and just how we can help in helping with unique needs. And in my little photos, you can see at the top, I'm in choir. I do sing with the choir at my college. So that's something I love to do and have done for a very long time. I'm also, like I said, I'm from SoCal, so I love Disneyland. I love amusement parks. That's one of my favorite things. I have some photos with my roommates who I love so much, and my many cats, my many cats at home who I just left. I'm back in my college apartment and I miss them, and some coffee because I love coffee. But that's me. It's nice to meet you all.
Hi guys, I'm Rachel. I'm a rising senior at Northwestern. I'm currently finishing up my junior year. I'm majoring in economics, and I'm from Wausau, Wisconsin, which is up in the north central part of Wisconsin, but I haven't been there that long. I've moved around quite a few times as well. I've been in Texas and St. Louis and Virginia, so basically everywhere but the West Coast. So what inspired me to pursue a research internship in the disability sector? I am really interested in developmental economics, and one of the really big ideas there is just about how much potential we're wasting and is being kind of not realized in the world because of a lot of economic inequity. And I think that really applies, to a lot more things than just economic inequity. And so I'd really like to see a lot more equity and accessibility in education in particular. That's one area I'm really passionate about. And just, yeah, helping people to have a chance to fulfill their full potential. And that's just something I hope I can contribute in any way to make happen. Yeah, and as for my profession, how it aligns with my professional and goals and aspirations, to be honest, I'm not exactly sure where I'll be right after college. I'm kind of still dealing with that decision as a rising senior, but maybe a little farther in the future, it is. I would really like to be able to start my own NGO or nonprofit as kind of a more distant dream of mine. If I could hang out with any cartoon character, I chose Kiki from Kiki's Delivery Service, which is this Studio Ghibli film that I watched when I was a little kid. And she was this girl, and she left her home at like 18. And she's a witch and flies around with her cat that she can talk to. And I just thought that was the coolest thing. And she was very independent and brave and really outgoing, which is something I wasn't when I was a kid. So I really thought that was awesome and looked up to that. Yeah, and as for my photos, I really love to knit and crochet. And so those pictures, those are some hats I made. I've been really into making hats. That's my puppy on the right, who I love and has been like my friend as I've been at home the whole time through this pandemic. So yeah, that's me. Nice to meet all of you.
Hi everyone, my name is Katie and I'm an incoming sophomore at UC Berkeley and I'm studying biological engineering with a concentration in biomedical devices. And I wanted to pursue this internship because I created an assistive device for a young girl, but I realized that there's a lot of other students out there who don't have the tools to participate in their class and in the same way that their fellow students could. And so I wanted to figure out why companies aren't making this and why there's a lack of funding for devices. And it aligns with my professional goals because I hope to use my engineering background to make more medical devices, assistive technology, and to make sure that people can live their life with no limitations and they can have a dream and pursue it. And if I could hang out with any cartoon character, it would probably be Winnie the Pooh because he's just like so lovable and he has a sweet tooth, which I also have a major sweet tooth, and he's really persistent. And then for my pictures, this is my little dog, Sam. I didn't have a picture of me like running or baking or making matcha, so I kind of just did like a bad Photoshop job of that. Yeah, but that's everything.
Hello everyone, my name is Syed Muir. I'm a 2020 pass out in Bachelor's in Computer Application. I'm from India and I majored in, minors are my maths and stats. My hometown is Aligarh. One thing you would like to know about Aligarh is that it's situated around an academic institution. So it's a culture rich city, an academic rich city. And it's known for its locks. So it's also known as City of Locks. I was inspired to pursue this research internship in disability sector mainly because of my background. I love to play football and I played at state and national levels. But 3-4 years back, I was in an accident while playing a football. So I was paralyzed for 2 years almost. And because of that reason, I was inspired to pursue research in such sector, and partly because of my interest in combining my knowledge in computer applications in various domains. So I would like to work in healthcare sector in future, and this internship definitely would help me to take a step closer towards it. And finally, my cartoon character that I would like to choose is Shikamaru Nara from Naruto, and that's because basically 50% I'm similar to him because I'm lazy and I would like to learn the rest 50% of his abilities like sharpness. So that's all. Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Hi everybody, my name is Ayana Montague. I'm a, now senior biology major, chemistry minor at Prairie View A&M University, which is in Prairie View, Texas. I was born in Baltimore, Maryland, but I'm currently in Nebraska because my dad was stationed at Offutt Air Force Base when I was 4. I'm interested in pursuing this research internship in the disability sector because as someone who does have a disability and someone who has family members with disabilities, I know that the work that VOSAP does is very important and I really want to contribute to that, to do as much as I can to help further that mission. And it aligns with my professional goals and aspirations because as a pre-med student, I will work closely with patients who have disabilities, and by learning about this more, I can provide better care to my patients. And if I could hang out with any cartoon character, it would be Spider-Man. He was my first comic book, and it was given to me by my older brother. So I really love Spider-Man. And there's some pictures of me going to an EMT workshop, traveling to present my research, a painting that I made for my mom for Mother's Day because I love anything artistic, and then also sewing to make masks for healthcare workers.
Hi everyone, my name is Brandy. I'm currently an incoming senior at UC Berkeley. Hi to the fellow Bears. I'm majoring in social welfare and business administration. I'm from Elk Grove, Sacramento area in Northern California. I was inspired to pursue a research internship in the disability sector, in particular by family and friends with disabilities, but also more generally just wanting to contribute to a more accessible and equitable world for all. I think similar to some others I've done so far, kind of a lot of work on the more local individual level, and I'd love to start contributing a research for advocacy for change on a larger scale. In terms of my professional goals, they involve work that essentially holds businesses responsible for the impact they have socially and in terms of equity. So kind of looking into CSR, consulting nonprofit spaces. And so I'm really excited to potentially bring the work that we're doing in the CSR programs team this summer into work that I'll continue to do in the future. If I could hang out with any cartoon character, I would choose Uncle Iroh. He's just a super cool character. I'd love to just sit down, have a chat with him, have some tea, and get some life advice. And in the photos, you can see a few of my hobbies. So I am on a lion dance team, so that's me lion dancing. There's a picture of me, at the top of Mount Fuji, and I'm hoping to be able to travel again soon. And I also really love to do pottery, so you can see that at the bottom. But yeah, thanks. Really excited to work with everybody.
Hi everyone, I'm Lexi. I'm finishing up my second year at UC Santa Barbara, and so I'll be a third year in the fall. I'm majoring in psychological and brain sciences and communication. I'm from Tracy, California, which is like Northern California, sort of near Sacramento. And then I was inspired to pursue an internship in the disability sector just because I did a lot of volunteering with people with disabilities in high school. And then recently I've been working with Respite, where I work with a child that actually has a disability. And so it's become more of a passion of mine, and I want to learn more about it. And then as far as my professional goals, being a communications major, I wanted to gain experience working with a team and project management. So I think that will really be effective with this internship. And then also I'm interested in working in healthcare. So I think it's like a best of both worlds to learn more about the disability sector. And then if I could hang out with any cartoon character, I would say Sully from Monsters, Inc. It's just an all-time favorite, and I just like his personality. And then the pictures are, I like to hike and like go on road trips and stuff. So I did a road trip this spring break to a bunch of different national parks. So there's one from Yosemite and then another one from the Grand Canyon. But I also went to Joshua Tree in Zion. So yeah, that's it. I'm really excited for this summer.
Hi all, this is Song Hee, and this is my 5th year at UCSB Graduate School.
And my major is education. So I'm interested in special education issues and measurements. So what I'm currently researching on is how to develop a more ethical and more fair assessment tools for autistic kids. And my hometown is Seoul, Korea. And the reason that I kind of plan to decided to this internship is partly because my life is always with people with disabilities, because my 13-year-old son is autistic. So I'm always interested in social justice and advocate for these people with disabilities. And also usually what I do, I don't have any other purpose. Usually what I do is because I love to do that. So I try to really enjoy every moment and process that I'm doing. And then, so like for my purpose, professional goal after graduation, when I started my PhD, also I didn't have any specific kind of goal or professional goal, but at the same time, still I don't have it, but I'm interested in organizing my own kind of own organization. And it's been a big pleasure to meet new people and form organization with the people that I love and I can work with. So I hope I can have some kind of beneficial experience to how to organize and how to run the organization. And the cartoon character that I want to meet is Octonauts, because my house is all decorated with Octonauts, because these cartoon characters are my son's favorite cartoon characters, and he kind of watching these shows over and over and over again. And I have so many figures and so many pictures and so many books. So they are my auditional kids. So I'm so used to that. And also, I don't like outdoor activities that much. So what I really like is going to the mall or going to the nice building and chatting with my friends and having great food. And I love coffee and matcha and every kind of things too. I love cafes, and sometimes I like to walk around the silent beach. Santa Barbara is a small town, but it's always crowded with a lot of people. But usually in the morning, it's kind of calm and peaceful. So I like that kind of mood. And I'm so glad to meet you all, and I look forward to working with you guys. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kelsey. I'm a rising senior at USC, and my major is anthropology with the minor in linguistics, and I'm from San Diego, California, but I'm currently in LA. So I was inspired to pursue this research internship in the disability sector just based on my family background, and then also as an anthropology major, we tend to explore research as a sort of humanistic and activist activity. So I was inspired to, pursue this internship to sort of explore how research can be used to actually like positively affect people's lives. And then this aligns with like my broader professional goals of like using research as advocacy. So I'm looking forward to gaining some really helpful research experience and also building connection with all of you who also have similar interests in advocacy and accessibility. And if I could hang out with any cartoon character, it would probably be Lisa Simpson, because she's very smart, very confident, and stands her ground, but she could also teach me how to play saxophone, which I really want. And then for my pictures, this is my cat Gula, and I really love to play bass and guitar. And then I just added a little picture of Lisa Simpson. But yeah, I've really enjoyed hearing you guys introduce yourselves so far, and I look forward to working with you this summer.
Hey guys, I'm Callie. I'm a rising junior at the University of Pennsylvania, and I'm majoring in English and minoring in consumer psychology. I'm from Pasadena, California, which is in Los Angeles County. And I wanted to work with VOSAP because I'm interested in sort of shifting on a societal level the narrative surrounding disability and how people's like lived experiences often differ a lot from what people socially are thinking about in terms of disability and just promoting equity in general. I think this internship aligns with my professional goals a little bit in that I would love to work at an NGO in the future, especially in the editorial and marketing positions, and I'm an editor for this internship, so that kind of aligned. If I could hang out with any cartoon character, I would probably choose Toph from Avatar: The Last Airbender, just because I really like her attitude and her confidence, and I think she's really cool. I also, for my pictures, I enjoy dancing and painting for fun. I also like reading, and I am also happy here with my cat. So, yeah.
Hi, everyone. It's nice to see you all. My name is Sabrina. I'm finishing up my second year at UCLA. I am a public affairs major, and also I have a minor in society. Well, I am minoring in society and genetics. I'm also from Irvine, California. So shout out to Katie, I believe, who's also from Irvine. And I wanted to partake in this research internship because I just wanted to develop and further my understanding of some of the obstacles that disabled folks have faced for the last year or so, a little bit less than a year. I've been working on a story for the student newspaper at UCLA about some of the challenges that our Center for Accessible Education has sort of imposed on students with disabilities. And so I thought that this research internship was a great opportunity to sort of see what other obstacles that people with disabilities face even outside of the university. And then as for how this will contribute to my professional aspirations, I am interested in both the legal field and also the media/journalism field. So I'm sort of still debating between those two, but I felt like whatever field I choose, I have to use research, writing, and analytical skills. And so I feel like this is just a great way to help me develop those skills and to just, improve in all of those aspects. And then for a cartoon character that I would like to spend time with, probably Elsa, because wherever she is, there'll be snow. And I know that's kind of weird because I'm from Irvine and it's just like sunny 70-degree weather 365 days a year, but I don't like heat. So I would just love to be in a place where there's snow 24/7. So yeah, thank you so much, you guys, for letting me introduce myself, and I look forward to working with all of you.
So Vanessa couldn't stay for the entirety of today's presentation, but I can give you a very quick rundown on who she is. She too is a junior at USC, a combination of actually Montessori and I's major, public policy and econ math, and she's from Kansas. I'm gonna actually let her, go over why she wants to do disability and how it aligns with her professional goals during our next cohort call. But I guess she said she would like to hang out with Marceline from Adventure Time because she seems cool and loves music. So that's Vanessa.
Hello. I go to USC and I'm a rising senior. I'm Ryan. My major is political science. My hometown is Boynton Park, California. I'm interested in the disability sector because my family has been implicated by disability, and I personally want to advocate for equal rights and representation and other things. I want to work in the future. I want to work in like public office and for campaigns. So this internship kind of gives me the opportunity to be involved in political research, and that kind of intersects with inequality and some of my personal beliefs. If I were to hang out with a cartoon character, I'd want to hang out with like a Charizard or Appa from Avatar: The Last Airbender, because I think flying on a giant pet animal is exciting and sounds pretty cool.
Hi, everybody. My name's Natasha. I'm a senior at UCSB. I'm actually just about to graduate. I'm just about to complete my major in biopsychology and my minor in Spanish. I'm originally from New York, but I've spent most of my life in Menlo Park, California. Um, why I was inspired to pursue a research internship, I think on my campus, as on a lot of campuses, disabled or like disability in general is not very visible and not something that's well talked about. So I wanted to better understand that, but also on kind of a larger level, especially in terms of healthcare, I wanted to understand and also change policies that prevent or make it difficult for people with disabilities to access healthcare. That kind of segues into how it aligns with my professional aspirations. I'm currently applying to medical school, so I want to be a physician. And both as a physician and as a person, it's important that everyone gets equal access to healthcare. And I think there are certain groups that tend to be marginalized in that aspect that I would like to bring to light. If I could hang out with any cartoon character, I think I couldn't really pick one out of Scooby Doo and the gang, but I guess if I had to pick, probably Scooby Doo. I think it would just be really fun to talk to a dog. I've never had any pets, so I think that would be a good time. In terms of pictures, this one is me in Chile. It's where I studied abroad before the pandemic, and these are two close friends of mine and myself. Yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Laura. I'm going to graduate in a few days from Cornell. I studied industrial and labor relations, which is basically a combination of human resources, employment law, and labor organizing. I'm from the Philadelphia area, and I decided to do this internship because I wanted to have a better understanding of the policies in place beyond the research I've done in my coursework. And this goes hand in hand with what I plan to do after graduation, which is work in recruiting in the healthcare sector, and then eventually move on to education and employment policy, particularly focused around transition services between high school education and college or jobs training. And then I picked Snoopy because, he's a dog and he just seemed fun. And for my pictures, I didn't really have any good pictures for my hobbies. So basically just did hang out with my close friends. And the top one is from a thing in Ithaca called Apple Fest, which is just a very fun time in the fall with lots of apple foods. So yeah, nice to meet everyone.
Hi, my name is Sophie Manukian, and I'm a senior at UC Berkeley, and I'm double majoring in public health and data science, and I am also from Pasadena, California. Shout out to the individual who is also from Pasadena, California. We breed the best. And yeah, I'm basically doing this internship because I have always wanted to help people, and if you've ever been on the side of a situation where you're the one being harmed or discriminated against, you know how absolutely horrible that feels. And meeting so many amazing individuals who happen to just also have disabilities has shown me that, I could use my privilege of not having a disability to act and be the best ally that I possibly can be. And then in terms of career, this is basically pretty much what I'd love to be doing as a public health and data science person. I love to code. I like to make graphs. I like to see my beautiful little charts, but I definitely want to do it in terms of helping other people. And VOSAP helps a lot. Ideally, in the future, I'd love to be working for child abuse or maternal child adolescent health things. And yeah, my individual would definitely be Avatar Roku. I think Avatar Roku would have a lot of very interesting things to tell me about fighting conflict and, learning with dealing with disappointment and stuff. So yeah, my pictures, I love to make cupcakes. Cupcakes are really yummy. I made tie-dye cupcakes, as you can see. I like to go outside. I like to go to art museums, and I like to make art. So yes.
Before we head into the structure, I think we have one more person whose slide needs to be presented. Give me just a second while I am pulling that up.
A lot of people love anime. I feel like we should create an anime Slack channel. Go off on that.
Should I screen share mine? Because I updated the background and it didn't pop through.
Yes. Let me see if I can give you. It won't let me make you co-host for some reason, but let me see if we can update your
It's
slide.
okay. I mean, let's move on. It was nice.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Would you mind presenting with the slide I shared? Okay, okay, perfect, perfect.
Okay, so hi, I'm Misha. Everyone calls me Mish. I am from Calabasas, California, which is as West Valley as you can get without hitting like central, so like Oxnard and stuff. So I'm close to the beach and I'm close to Ventura Boulevard. I am a rising junior at Cal State Northridge in honors English literature and creative writing. I am an author, so I have my first book, The Color Orange, which you can see was written by my beautiful friend Miranda, who has muscular dystrophy. She's my artist for my book. The book is based around autism and disability, and it comes out in August. And then my second book, which isn't about disability, but is about grief and mental health, will be coming out in August of 2022. I have done a lot of work in disability. I specifically tried to do it within the Armenian community. I have Armenian people giving anecdotes at the end of my book. So that's where I've kind of found my niche. I want to go to law school. I don't plan on practicing law particularly. I always say that if Disney buys my movie, I'm just going to go get a PhD and be a professor. That is like my dream. So fingers crossed that it happens. I do a lot of volunteer work with sports camps. So like the picture down here is from Hadash, which is a youth corp sector of a sports company for Armenian kids with disabilities. And if I could hang out with any cartoon character, it would be the ugly stepsister from the Shrek series, because I love me some good tea time. And I feel like she just has all the goss on everybody from far, far away.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Your introductions were not only inspiring, but super cool. And like Anusha was saying, I think we definitely have a lot of shared interests. So we will be creating new Slack channels for people to talk about everything from hiking to anime. So thank you all for giving your introductions. And that'll take us right into kind of talking about what you all kind of look like on paper in terms of organizing you into our 2021 cohort. So as you can see, we have two amazing editors who you had the chance to meet today, Amanda and Kalila, and they are kind of overseeing all of the different topic areas from an editorial perspective. And then we have 5 different research topics: advertising, assistive tech, CSR, employment, and federal and state programs. The names that you see in the light orange shade, they are all your wonderful project management interns, so they will be leading your research teams. And then the names in the whites are the research interns themselves. And then you also had the opportunity to meet Rachel and Kimberly, who are going to be our communications and graphic design interns this summer. And so they'll be organizing everything from cohort calls to anything you see on our social media, and facilitating all communication. So that's kind of a big picture overview of what everything looks like this summer. So we were going to do a scavenger hunt, but I think we're a bit pressed on time, so we might save this for our next cohort call. But if you guys all probably saw in the email, we asked you to download the VOSAP mobile app. So if you haven't already done that, this would be a great time to do that. And because we will be doing this activity during our next cohort call, which will be really fun. And I will hand it off to Anusha to talk a bit about structure.
Yeah, of course. So as you see, we have outlined for you a week by week sort of structure as we get started on Monday. All of you guys should have received a Google Invite call that is going to go across me, monitoring Mr. Desai, the project manager, the respective editorial, and the research interns for that group. Each week, we're going to be discussing the topic that's related to that week, starting obviously Monday. As you've seen here, I'm going to pick on week 1, for example, because that is the one that we're going to get started with next week. We're going to be deep diving into what sort of looks like the project scope, what each individual in the team is going to be sort of working out throughout the course of the internship. How do you plan on even executing this research project? what is the final outcome that you guys foresee? Are you seeing a policy analysis? Are you seeing more of a data-driven model analysis? Sort of figuring out all those finer details and taking place in the structure of week 1. As you will see also in white, we have decided 2 cohort calls, June 25th and July 23rd. Again, you should have received Google invites for these. And if by any chance you are running late, have to leave early, or cannot make it, please do let us know at the earliest. The final week of the internship is going to be dedicated to final week presentations. So Monday through Friday, each of the 5 teams are going to present on one day each. This is going to be about a 20 to 30 minute, sort of presentation by all members of the team discussing the research that you guys have done and sort of the findings that result from it. We're going to be uploading this deck to the drive in the resources folder. So if you want to take a final look at this timeline, you're welcome to do so and get back to us with any questions that you might have. When it goes to more of a week-by-week structure, the way Manushree and I have sort of structured it is there will be 2 mandatory at minimum calls that you will be attending. And if you are the editorial interns or the communication interns, this is gonna be a little bit different for you guys, but PM and research interns, this is how your main structure will look like. One meeting is the one that's happening with, like I said, Manushree, me, Mr. Desai, and everyone on the team. Another meeting is going to be happening with just your PM and the editor. In that meeting with just your PM and the editorial intern is going to take about 10 minutes to present a deck that pertains to the topics that we just enlisted in the timeline. So if week 2 is talking about introductions and background analysis, your respective editor intern is going to talk about what it sort of looks like to write a background analysis, or what it looks like to sort of what a good introduction versus a bad introduction looks like, sort of walk you through the technical writing aspect of it. That'll be about the first 10 minutes of the call, after which they will leave about 5 minutes for you to ask any questions that you might have. The remaining time will be sent by the PM, however they want to execute it, whether they want to discuss deliverables, or there's an issue, or they want to talk about next week's deliverables. That will be an agenda they come prepared with to their meetings. When you are meeting with us, however, that agenda will be not just decided by the PM, but also by the other research interns. If there's certain concerns you want to bring up with us, how to further your research, you guys got stuck somewhere, all that sort of stuff is going to be taken care of in that call with all of us. So just to clarify one more time, the Google invites that you have received from us is the first column, the VRI check-in call. The research team call is, I believe most of our PMs have sent out a Slack poll, a when to meet, something to sort of figure out when you guys individually want to meet. You guys, whatever matches best for all of you guys, go ahead with that time. But yeah, I don't think I missed anything in structure, Manushree. No? Okay.
No, yeah, I think you covered everything. Awesome. Okay, so just to briefly go over expectations that we have for all of you. So the first is how to kind of use Slack. We do expect kind of a 24-hour response time to any received messages. Anusha and I will also try to send those messages out within working hours so that we're not bombarding you at 12 in the morning. So we will also be respectful of your time, but we do hope that you can either react to a message once you've seen it, so we know that you are active and are seeing what we're sending out, or that you reply to it if we've DM'd you personally on Slack, or if we're asking you a question in your channel. Open communication is kind of the best way to make sure that we're all being transparent with each other and that we're here to support each other in the best way possible. The second thing is the weekly meetings. So as Anusha said, every week we're going to be uploading a deck prior to the week beginning. That deck will pertain information about what your group will kind of be at a very high level working towards during that week. So be sure to review over that deck before your editorial intern presents at your research group meeting for that week. That will all be located within the shared drive folders that you've been added to. The second thing is you will kind of be working on a deliverable from a week-to-week basis. So we hope that you can upload your deliverable to that drive prior to your meeting with your PM intern and us during the VRI check-in call. And so we will go over this again with your PMs in a bit more detail if this is unclear, so they'll be reiterating these details during your first meetings. And the last thing is that if you aren't able to attend either of the 2 mandatory calls as a research intern, please make sure that you notify your PM. PMs, if you can't attend, please make sure to notify us so that we have at least 24 hours to make any necessary adjustments or to account for your absence during that meeting. Okay. Yeah, and so this is a bit extensive, so I apologize for the word vomit on the slide. But to go over all of this, I will do it at a very high level, and this will obviously be there for you as a reference later throughout the summer as well. But basically, we hope that as research interns, as project managers, editorial interns, communications interns, you all are the face of VOSAP as an organization when you're conducting this research. And so we hope that you can come to the internship with that same level of professionalism. So this includes, introducing yourself as a VOSAP research intern in any communications. If you're engaging in any type of primary research and you email any extrinsic organization asking for approval, either from your PM, who will ask for our approval, using your university email ID so that there's a level of professionalism as to where you're coming from, being respectful of other organizations and their time, not bombarding them with emails, especially if it's coming from a VOSAP perspective, making sure that you also keep our data and our work private, because this may be proprietary research that you will be doing. We do want to make sure that that information is secure, at least until we're ready to put it out into the public. So making sure that stays within the confines of our Google Drive. And also, your names and photographs we hope to use in VOSAP statements and in our press releases and any outwards communication. So if you're not okay with that, please feel free to message either me or Anusha so that we can be proactive about making sure that we're not including your photograph or name if that's something that you would like. And same thing goes for recording. We will be recording most of our cohort calls where all of you will be present. So if you're not comfortable with that, please also let Anusha and I know. But yeah, that's a long list of rules and engagement. But if you have any questions, again, feel free to message Anusha.
You all are now part of Voice of SAP family. So responsibility of keeping our brand and our professionalism is now with everybody. Okay, so make sure that people love talking to you. It's a long term. Many of you will continue for many years as a champion of disability rights. So it's a great opportunity to work together.
Definitely. Well, that was a lot of information for you guys in one meeting. So just to sort of sum up some next steps that we have for you guys, we've talked about it from the very beginning, but I think it is very important to get to know the organization so that when you're doing your research, you sort of know what you're working towards and who you're working with. And the best way to do that is sort of, immerse yourself in the mobile app, on the website. By now, everyone should have downloaded the mobile app. And on there, one of the first steps you can do is take a pledge. Pretty straightforward. It says take a pledge and it walks you through it. Very, very simple. We also, if any of you guys do have an Instagram and want to follow us, we have a VOSAP Collegiate account at VOSAP.collegiate, which we're super excited to, sort of revamp this upcoming summer with Kimberly on our team, but just some, social media stuff if you want to follow us. And we're also on LinkedIn. So you'll get some, your own research is actually going to be on LinkedIn as well. So that'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, our communication team would be very active, guys, for putting it out, whatever things that you find on regular basis. That's why we have two very, experts in the communication field going to do that for this research. So our job is to share it with our friends, right? So I expect all 27 people of you to do that so that, the buzzword is out that what you are doing, and then you can inspire others to also follow that messaging that our media team will do, a communication team will do.
Yeah, and if you haven't, I'm pretty sure everyone here has been I'm so sorry about that. Everyone here has been onboarded onto Slack. So just to put your college and graduation, a lot of you guys do come from certain clumps of universities, USC, Berkeley, UT. So just to get to connect with each other. We will be uploading the deck for week 1 between now and the upcoming weekend. So please do go over that before your one-on-ones this upcoming week, the week of May 31st. And everyone should be added to the drive by now. If you have not been added, please do let Manish and I know at the earliest. But there are 2 folders you need to keep an eye out for: your personal research folder as well as the resources folder. The resources folder is where we're uploading all the decks. Your personal topic folder is up to however you guys want to use it. The PM will have some sort of vision of how they want to organize, folders within folders and where certain deliverables go. So be sure to communicate with them before you add anything to the drive. But yeah. And I think that leads us to the end of our orientation. This is all of our contact information. Manashri and I will also put up a sort of contact list with all of your guys' emails, names, which project you guys are in, so you guys can also network with each other. But just want to say, even outside of VOSAP, Manashri and I are here for you guys. If you need anything at all, we are all, college going students, so we all really want to help each other out. So if y'all have things going on, please just let us know. Like Manashri said, open communication is the way to go here. So if anything comes up, if you need advice, if you just want to talk about like food recommendations, whatever it may be, feel free to reach out to us, whether it be Slack, email, or even text. We'll be happy to sort of stay in touch. Yeah,
I think before we head out, Anusha and I wanted to take a quick picture. I know Anusha was taking a few during the presentation, but for anyone that wants to be on camera, feel free to turn your cameras on. For anyone that wants to be off camera, feel free to keep your camera off. We will just take a few quick pictures. Yeah, okay, I'll count down so I don't catch anyone off guard. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and one more quick one. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Well, thank you all so much again for coming out to the orientation. We will see you all this upcoming week in your check-ins. Then I hope everyone has a good evening.
Bye-bye.
Have a great weekend.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.